Hoş geldiniz. Sizi zevkle izledim. Çok da dikkatimi çekti. Preceon nedir? Detay alabilir miyim?
Preceon, or what we call Preceon Smart Corn Systems, is a cropping system, a corn cropping system, which first of all is comprises out of a specific corn hybrid, which is what we call a short stature corn hybrid, which is about 30% shorter than a normal tall corn hybrid. With this shorter stature is also the genetic potential that we get through our precision breeding techniques. And with this shorter version of the corn also comes additional benefits. What we are seeing is deeper rooting systems. You have also a better ratio of above ground, below ground a phenotype, and then also we're seeing benefits in terms of the lignin content or the standability of the plant, which also leads then into better digestibility when it comes to feeding, and then as well it comes in terms of starch volume. So along with this plant, or the hybrid, the advanced hybrid, we then also work with farmers to develop the system beyond that. So first of all, we look at data, right, making use of the farmer data as well as our own genetic data to do prescriptions for the farmer in terms of density, in terms of planting date, etc. Along with the data application, we also support farmers through a digital system, right, which is in this case our FieldView Plus system in Turkey. And then along with that, we also work with the farmer in terms of optimizing their operations, right? So looking at their crop protection application, looking at fertilization application. So at the end of the day, it's really to work with the farmer end to end in terms of creating a system around this unique short stature corn.
You mentioned, but what are the benefits, concrete benefits of the Preceon? Bunun aslında somut faydaları ne çiftçiye?
So some of the concrete benefits, right? Due to the fact that you have this shorter plant with this better structure, it means that the corn is less likely to lodge, to fall, right? So you have better lodging resistance. That means that we can support farmers in increasing the density, so the amount of corn they plant per area, and that helps that the farmer can increase then their yield, right? You have more factories on the same piece of land. So that helps farmers to produce more, both on the grain side or if it's for silage in the dry matter side. But because you have better standability, because of the structure of the plant, you have less risk of lodging, right? So you have less risk of crop losses, specifically when it comes towards harvesting. So producing more with less risk. But as well, the fact that you have a shorter crop, or a shorter corn system, that means that the farmer have more flexibility in terms of their applications, in terms of their processes. So they can enter the field longer, so you can look at split application of, for instance, nitrogen, you can look at different application of crop protection products, and then also it allows the farmer more flexibility, specifically due to the stay green effect of the plant in terms of silage harvest. But at the end of the day, what it also really is very important for the farmer is looking at the sustainability benefits, right? Due to the fact that you have a better root structure, due to the fact that we can look at the way we apply it, so more density or better density, row width, etc. That all then leads towards better utilization of resources, specifically water, right, which we know is a very important resource, and therefore this system then also leads to better what we call water use efficiency, right? So the farmer then is able to manage as well adverse weather conditions or restricted water use or limited water use better through the system. And then of course one of the key benefits that we are also working towards is looking at the carbon footprint, right? So can we produce corn, produce more with using less resources, but can we also look at the benefit in terms of our carbon footprint of a corn production system?
Aslında cevap verdi, but maybe you can talk about maybe some concrete figures about the conclusion of the result of the sustainability. Sadece sorusuna ek olarak şunu sordum. Belki somut çıktılar verebilir. Çünkü panelde de aslında somut veriler üzerinden gitti. Tam olarak belki verilerden bahseder sürdürülebilirlik anlamında.
Yeah, so what we have done, we are working with partners and research institutes across the world. From the US, we work with a university in Italy, in Greece, and here in Turkey as well. We are working with research institutes, looking at all of the different components, not just at the production level, right? So in terms of increasing the production, but also the sustainability topics. Now, some of the data that we have received during these partnerships and research that we have done is, for instance, we see a 17% deeper rooting system, right? So you have a better, deeper root system, which leads, of course, to better extraction of nutrients as well as water. We also see that if you apply the right cropping system, density, row widths, etc., you see a cooler environment within the field, right? So lower temperatures, about 1% decrease, as well improvement in terms of the hydration within the field, right? So that means that you have less, what we call you have a smaller evaporation deficit, right? Which means that you are conserving more. You have a better microclimate to conserve water more. And then what we are seeing, specifically in the research that we have done with the research institute here in Turkey, is that if we apply the same level of irrigation, we see an improvement in terms of yield. But where we restrict the amount of water, right? So typically under water restriction or limited water availability, we see that the Preceon system actually have a better water use efficiency, around 10% better, what we call better irrigation water use efficiency.
Türkiye'de ne zaman ticari olarak kullanabiliriz? Piyasaya nasıl vereceğiz?
Preceon in Turkey. Ne zaman olacak?
So what
When you will bring to the market this Preceon in Turkey?
So specifically, so we have already launched it in Spain and Italy. We are busy at this stage with what we call groundbreakers in Turkey, right? So working with farmers, like I said, it's very important. It's a system for farmers, designed with farmers, right? So we are currently busy with groundbreakers with farmers, and we will launch potentially the first hybrids, or that will be available to a broader group of farmers would be next year.
Sizi çok heyecanlı gördüm bu konuyla alakalı. Piyasada sizin kadar heyecanlanacak mı?
You are so excited. So do you believe that also the farmers, the market will be also excited, feel excited about the launch of the Preceon?
Well, seeing is believing, right? So that's why we're doing this groundbreakers as well, to take the farmer on the journey. What's very important, where we have seen, where farmers have already experienced it, there's a great excitement. The one thing that I'm always great to see is that if farmers comes and tells us more than what we know about the system, right? Because they feel it, they touch it, they live it each and every day, right? So I believe once we put this innovation in the hands of farmers, they will get excited, and they will get ways and learn ways of even improving it much more than we can even think about. So I believe farmers will be excited about it, but it's really, farmers need support. I mean, it's so, if you think about what farmers have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, we cannot let them do it on their own, right? So we will have to support the farmers in even implementing a system like Preceon, right? From all aspects, from a regulatory point of view, from a social point of view, from an innovation point of view, from a data and digital point of view, farmers will need to have the support, and we will have to support them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.